Can I get a pop or something?
Alright, everyone. This is. That stupid fucking intro is unbelievable. I absolutely hate it. But, folks, we're here today to discuss the Black Ops 6 beta. Now, this is the first time any one of you has ever heard my voice. Grace your ears. Just a little bit of background on me in Call of Duty. I started playing COD in 2009 with split screen Modern Warfare 2 at my friend's house on like Rust. There was just four of us, me, my friend, my other friend, and his brother. We would just hop on and we would split screen Modern Warfare 2. Then I moved to Black Ops, but I didn't have Xbox Live Gold at that time, so I was playing Combat Training on Black Ops 1. But my first real online Call of Duty experience was the original Modern Warfare 3 in 2011. And that game was great. One of my favorites of all time. I was not very good, and I really didn't start getting good, and we'll get into that kind of a bit, but here we are, Black Ops 6. The past couple years of Call of Duty have been it's been very weird, okay? Like, very weird. So, like, Modern Warfare 19, I was not really a fan of. Modern Warfare, or Vanguard, or Black Ops Cold War, I was a huge fan of. I loved Cold War. I think Cold War was one of the best COD games of all time. Truly was an experience. Vanguard was weird. Public match-wise, I think Vanguard might be one of the worst Call of Duties we've ever had. But in terms of competitive, just a little background, I am a competitive Call of Duty fan. Been a competitive Call of Duty fan for a while, but, you know, with my leaving Call of Duty back in, like, Black Ops 3, when I, like, stopped playing all the time, that was kind of, like, when I left, but, like, Vanguard was the second Call of Duty when I got back. And I got back into competitive in Cold War, and Vanguard was the second COD, and I went to my first Call of Duty event in Vanguard. It was the Toronto Major 3 that year. I know I'm speaking about a bunch of stupid shit that people, if you ever do watch this video, if someone ever watches it, they're probably not competitive fans, but I definitely enjoyed competitive. I enjoy competitive, and Vanguard was my first event. And it was great. I had a great time, and I loved Vanguard competitively. It was one of my favorite games to hop on and play. I could hop out solo, mainly because maybe I didn't understand how the rank system fully worked. I still don't know to this day how the fuck that system worked. So it was like a hybrid ELO system mixed with the Cold War system, and it was really bad. We'll get into that kind of stuff later, but yeah, so that was, you know, that. And Modern Warfare 2 was actually another game I had a lot of fun memories with early on. In Modern Warfare 3, now we're here on Black Ops 6, and I feel like every year, you know, you have to try to take, especially in Call of Duty, you have to take. Someone just slammed their door in in the hallway. Anyway, sometimes you have to take, you know, you have to take lessons every time you develop a video game, like Call of Duty, and I just feel like some studios do it better than others. Infinity Ward doesn't really do that. They just kind of fart around and hope that people play, and then, you know, you have Modern Warfare 2 2022 come out, and people stop playing that, and nobody wants to play it. So I got some pros, some cons, some ugly things, some fun things in Black Ops 6. I'm just gonna kind of go off the cuff. I don't really have like a full list. I have a few things. I was gonna make this video in the beginning, or the end of weekend 1, excuse me, but I decided, you know, I was gonna let weekend 2 happen, see what kind of change, and a few things on my list did change, but I will kind of basically mention them. So number 1, I'll just start off with some good things I like. So I really like the Omni movement. Okay, I do. I think the Omni movement is great in this game. It looks fun. I played it, so it is fun. It plays fun. You'll see in the clips and the gameplays that I have. There's 2 gameplays here. One, they're both dominations. I'll be honest, it was hard to get. We'll get into that in the bad section of some things, but I don't really use the Omni movement other than a normal slide cancel, maybe a slide sideways every once in a while, and then maybe an accidental slide backwards where I don't actually intend to slide backwards, but the game is weird. I had to play this game on hybrid. Again, we'll get into that. Kind of getting ahead of myself here. It's my first time doing this, so give me a break. Huge fan of the Omni movement. Like I said, it's fun. I don't use, like, some of the more gimmicky features like the sideways dive, I do use, like, again, just the normal kind of slide cancel. And that's fine. You'll see in the gameplay. That's fine. That's fine. But one thing good with the on movement, I think, is it's going to lend to just default controller layouts. With, like, for example, like in Modern Warfare 19 and Vanguard, and even in Cold War, like the slide cancels were different in between Modern Warfare 19, Vanguard, and Cold War. 19 and Vanguard were the same system where you double click your crouch with a jump. Cold War was like a weird timed system where you would like slide and then you'd have to like ADS and stand. It was like you had to get it right. And I never really fully mastered that one. It was just very difficult. Like half the time I looked like a fucking seal and I didn't like it. But you know, I think it was always difficult for default controller users who weren't playing Claw to kind of use the slide cancel to their ability. And just use the slide cancel in general. It was hard. I stopped playing Modern Warfare 19 and then got my first ever like SCUF controller in the summer of 2020. So when I went over to Cold War and then eventually Vanguard, I was able to utilize the slide cancel normally. But unless you play Claw, like, you're not really taking advantage of the full slide cancel. And the slide cancel is a huge factor in the game. I think with this system, they're trying to make movement mechanics simplified, and for anyone who plays the game at any skill level, regardless of input, regardless of anything, just to hop in and be able to use the movement. And I think that's great. That's a huge pro. So the Omni movement is great. I guess now I'll talk about the weapon balancing. They did, in fact, nerf the Jackal, which is exactly what I wanted them to do. I wanted them to nerf the ever-living fuck out of that gun, because it really did ruin Weekend 1 for me. Weekend 1 was a fucking tragedy. When it was just bad. Like, every fucking game you hopped into, people were just using the fucking Jackal, and it was so bad, because it was an AR. It was an AR and an SMG. There was no, and I mean zero fucking, there's nothing. You're just getting shit on. If you didn't use it, like for example, me and my friend were using the SWAT 5.56 a little bit during Weekend 1, because it had potential, and we were just getting, you just get shit on, and it was just, oh, just take the Jackal out then, or you leave the game, and it just sucked. And that's why I'm saying it's a pro, that in Weekend 2 they gutted the thing at range, and it basically, I picked it up like once. I actually might have picked it up in this gameplay. I don't know if it was this one or another one, and it didn't really feel the same, which is good. So strict weapon balancing, if they can keep up with that, it can be good. Just guns can't do that. But that's also another thing with the gun balancing. Like the C9 and like the AR to SMG like use, it's so like in Modern Warfare 3, for example, I'll also use Vanguard, and not really Modern Warfare 2, but like in Vanguard and like Modern Warfare 3, like Modern Warfare 3, the rival's fucked. Okay, the rival can map you. The MCW can get you up close. In Vanguard, the MP40 could map you, and the Automaton get you up close. They do everything. There was no real, like, it's an AR, it's an SMG, and I think in, like, competitive aspects, that helps to have, like, kind of guns that are, and even just in casual, like, if you're using an AR, you're trading off that up-close ability. If you're using an SMG, you trade off the long-range ability to be more smart on the map, and I think that's good that they're doing that. That game went by quick. Holy shit. I don't have much time left. But I definitely think that that is a pro. I think that is a pro for sure, and I genuinely like that. Because I think, like, up close, you know, again, with the Jackal getting nerfed, the Jackal was the issue. The Jackal's no longer there, so it's pretty good. Like, the C9 is great up close. Drops off at range, and the gun I'm using in the video, the AIMS, is really good at range, I think, but kind of loses up close. I've lost a plethora of gun battles up close using the AIMS during Weekend 2. I only really use it during Weekend 2. I didn't play as much as well. So those are the things there. So the gameplay, the basic gameplay, I like the perk system. I think it's got some potential as well. And by no means, when I get into the negatives, I think the negatives are more important to talk about, so I'm going to try to get into them here. A little bit, because they're more important for improving. Of course, Treyarch's never going to watch this video. Nobody at Treyarch's going to watch the video. Nobody at Activision's going to watch the video. They're never going to watch any of my videos, but I still think they're important for people to talk about and have conversations. The streak cost, that's my first negative I'm going to start with. I do not like the streak cost, okay? The streak cost is fucking atrocious in this game. There is a combo, I think it was Bankroll, was it? And what was the other one? I don't remember. I'm using it in this video. If you look when I spawned in, my UAV and counter UAV are like almost there. You can just, like, it's so stupid because default, if you're not using these two perks, it's hard as fuck. A UAV is like 7 kills. A UAV was always 3 kills, and then it went up to be 4, then maybe 5. Now it's 7, and I guess that's trying to increase with people being better at the game, but it's just fucking stupid, and it's dumb, and I don't like that. You put these two perks on, and now it's just UAV, counter UAV fucking central. So imagine if you're running into it like a 3-man, 6-man, God forbid, they're just going to be running these. It's going to be impossible. And the streaks are hard to shoot down, too. Like the Sigma. the Sigma launcher sucks balls. The Sigma is awful at taking down. It takes like more than one to take a UAV down. I don't agree with that. Right? Because I think as if you have a UAV up and someone's like, I'm going to put a Sigma class on, like, I'm being out of the action for a good chunk of time. Like, I'm out of the action for a little bit here. So one should do it, in my opinion. And also for camo grinding, assuming the launchers are going to have some sort of challenge tied to shooting down UAVs, that's going to be hell on earth. So streak cost and the perk like that, like the 2 perks, I just think is stunned. In terms of the maps that we had, Treyarch has come out with a little detail, kind of little machine thing they decided that was going to be cool, and they just kind of told us the sizes of the maps here. I'm scrolling Twitter to try to find it really quickly. It's not even that far down. Where the fuck? Here it is. Okay. So Vault, we have not played that. It is a medium map. Protocol is medium. Lowtown is medium. Red Card is medium. Vorkuta is medium. Skyline medium. Rewind medium, I believe with that one. Scud is listed as medium, which is definitely not true. Scud, wait. Did they edit this? I swear Scud said small. That's why I was like, what the fuck? Okay, well, Scud's now listed as medium. I think maybe it's on different platforms. It was listed differently. Subsonic, small. Payback, small. Babylon, of course, small. Derelict, of course, small. Warhead is strike. Pit strike. Gall strike. Stakeout strike. And Ghost of Hope said this on Twitter. He was talking about map sizes, and I think having a variety is good. And I think a map like Rewind could be a great S&D map, especially in competitive. I think it'd be a great control map in competitive as well. Don't be surprised if those are, if Rewind is in those 2 modes. It could be all 3 modes, to be fair. It's an overall balanced map. Maybe for 6v6, I wasn't a fan of it. Of course, you're watching a gameplay on it. I wasn't maybe a fan of it there, but overall, I think it was fine. Spawns are terrible, and I'm not talking just on Babylon. They're kind of understandable on Babylon and a strike map. They're understandable. But spawns were bad in Skyline. Spawns were bad on Scud. And overall map design on Scud, like the middle fucking dish having a big head glitch was stupid. Technically it has 2 head glitches. Technically 3 if you really want to count it. It's kind of just stupid. It's dumb map design that was there, and it sucks. It sucks. People were posting pictures of Black Ops 4 maps. Like, what happened to Treyarch? Of course, Treyarch has changed a lot over the last couple of years with Vonderhaar leaving, Tony Flame leaving, and a few others leaving in terms of the multiplayer design. But to be fair, you know, these aren't just brand new people taken off the street 4 years ago, or 2 years ago, or last week. These are people that are fundamentally following Vonderhaar's footsteps, and they know how to make the game. Looks like a Black Ops game. It plays for the most part like a Black Ops game. So like, there's influences there. I don't know how much Vonderhaar worked on this game, but overall, I think the game has, the maps are bad. Some of the maps are bad. We didn't get the hands on all of them, but there were some stinkers. Rewind and Scud were not the best. I did thoroughly, however, enjoy Babylon. Spawns were bad. Like, I see people like Blame Truth shitting on Babylon or Neo Cinema. Like, why are you shitting on a map like that? Like, it's a small map. Like, spawns are expected to be bad, but that's what people like. People like hectic fucking spawns and hectic maps, and it's, you know, people that play these maps don't care about their KD. They don't care about it. I can have a whole other video on people that blame truth, and there might be one at some point. So there's that. Packet burst and performance issues. Any packet burst you see in this only happens to me while I'm recording. Packet bursting is not a universal experience. Okay? I'm just going to sit there and say that. And a lot of these YouTubers talking about it, again, I only experience packet bursting in this game while recording gameplay. Also, if you look at my frame rate, it's like 160. That's also while recording. But my frame rate is still lower than expected without recording. But again, packet bursting is not a universal experience. It's independent. Some people have this growing issue with the packet bursting, and some people don't. Again, I very, very, very rarely ran into packet bursting issues. Only when recording did I ever run into them. It's actually when I was recording, it was almost every one of them. Or every one of them was recording. Happened frequently. Now for YouTubers, that sucks. If this is something that persists, for people that make content in the game, that sucks. But for someone who's just a casual on their couch playing the game, it's probably going to be a non-issue. And it happens a lot on PC too, because there's a lot of issues on computer. Bloatware, old installs of Windows with a bunch of shit on them can lead to instability. Improper, parts, things maybe not up to date, drivers, maybe so many different issues can cause these kind of spikes and stutters in the game, registers them as packet bursts, and it's really stupid. I'll talk a bit about the Sleeper Agent upgrade. Kind of was worried about it. I know something like Exclusive Ace was worried about it. I personally am not too worried about it. I think it's actually not too bad. I think it can definitely be bad, but I didn't find too many issues with it. I thought it was okay. There was actually a point I was shooting my damn teammate. That's how egregious it was. I was just shooting my teammate. It was fun. It's a good little field upgrade. Maybe he said like make it a streak. I think that might work. And he also mentioned how it would work in like hardcore. He's interested in that. I am also very interested in how it's going to work in hardcore. So stuff like that. But again, back to performance real quick. Like on the frame rate side of things, it needs to be fixed. That's just it. And the frame needs to be fixed. I'm not going to sit here and play on shitty ass FPS when I know I can get more on Modern Warfare 3, got more Modern Warfare 2, Cold War, every game I get more. I'm not going to do it on this game. So fix it, figure it out. As we wind down, kind of running low on fucking opinions here, because to be fair, skill-based matchmaking. I guess we'll end the video on skill-based matchmaking. The game's going to end here in a minute. I am going to have to stop the voice recording and get another gameplay. So pardon me if the next gameplay isn't a good gameplay, because it was hard, and that's kind of tying into this. So skill-based matchmaking is obviously a contentious topic in Call of Duty. By the way, I have acquired some more gameplay that I just took. It's not good gameplay. Just gonna let you know. It's a rage quit, I think, in a Gala TDM and some bit of more rewind. I just need to get my points across the matchmaking. So if I go over time, like, it'll cut off when I cut off. But I personally am not a huge hater of skill-based matchmaking. I am a hater of skill-based matchmaking, I will say. But like, it's not something I care about to the point where I'm going to freak out about it and it's going to deter me from buying a game. I usually like to play the really, really sweaty kids, okay? I just like playing the sweaty kids because I feel like I get better at a game when I play kids that are good, that are really good. I get better at a game. One problem I do have with skill-based matchmaking, it's always been a thing, and I'm not by far a very good COD player, is, of course, the team balancing issue. The team balancing issue, I noticed this happened in X Defiant with no skill-based matchmaking. The team balancing was terrible. Starting off weekend 2 was a pain in my balls. Starting off weekend 2, I did not want to play the game. But I also understood this was the last time for over almost 2 months, really, that I'm going to have the chance to play. And I really wanted to get that gameplay in. And also knew I wanted to make this video. And so I dealt with the pain that is, of course, playing the game. And I mean, I have some clips where the team just, like, my team was leaving mid-match. They were double, triple, sometimes quad negative. I'm the only one on the team positive, and the enemy team is just shitting on everybody. And the thing is like, if you play like 4 sweats as a decent player with terrible teammates, it's a really hard experience, because those sweats are just constantly putting pressure, and you're dying from multiple enemies constantly, and your team just can't keep up with them, and that's why it becomes an issue. You know, someone like Marksman, for example, plays Search and Destroy, and 90% of the time the game's teammates are dog shit and the enemies are decent enough. Like, and you get the point of what they're trying to do. They're trying to help the lesser skilled players get some kills here, but one guy can't get map control. I know it's pubs and talking about map control is stupid. One guy can't get map control. There's a point where there needs to be some sort of team balancing, to where if you have a game with, you try to match it up as best with, like, let's say you have 4 sweats. You split those 2 sweats up. You do the thing. Like, skill-based matchmaking is weird. It doesn't work like how most people would think. Like, most people, if you said skill-based matchmaking, they think, oh, well, it takes the overall KD and match you with that. But then that's easily manipulated. It works, like, off of a game base. Like, every 5 games, it'll, like, reevaluate or whatever. So at some point, I just started taking the snipers and losing intentionally, and I just couldn't wait to lose intentionally to get some easier lobbies. I was trying to get gameplays, too, and I think that maybe didn't help, but the team balancing was just awful. Because, like, if I'm getting shit on, sure, okay, the guy's better than me. But I was like, man, I'm killing these guys, and my teammates are just not getting a fucking lick of map control to prevent these guys from pushing up. They're just, every time I look at the kill feed, it's red. And I didn't like that. And that was one of my big gripes. And if we're going to have strict skill-based matchmaking, at least balance the teams out so that we can enjoy them. I think my mic might have been a little too low there, so I'll turn it up just slightly in case it was. So yeah, that's the skill-based matchmaking issue right there, and the team balancing that makes it really fucking difficult to sit down and just enjoy a video game of Call of Duty. And you know, I'll have a video out on XDefiant soon talking about all the stuff and talk about skill-based matchmaking and the debate of that, and it's huge. So it's a big deal. So I guess that'll be that. But overall, like I said, the game is good. During the first weekend when I was doing really good, my friend got on and I was like, this is the best Call of Duty I've ever played, because it really felt that good. And then just some issues started happening. You know, maybe, you know, sometimes you die quick and you feel you're taking forever to kill, and sometimes certain things work, and it is what it is, man. It's Call of Duty, but there's a lot of good here. There are some bad. I can go off some other things not related to the beta, like, for example, me not being a huge fan of them using camos like Dark Matter again. I feel like, why are we doing that? And even the zombies camo looks like Borealis. It's like kind of boring, stuff like that. That, you know, we'll see. And of course, when the full game comes out, we get the maps. We have Classic Prestige coming back, of course, which is going to help replayability quite a bit, I believe. And Ranked comes out in Season 1, so we'll be doing a deep dive into that. But overall, the beta was an okay experience, but there are a few issues that need to be resolved before the full game comes out. Performance issues. Again, I talked about Packet Burst earlier. It's not really, it can be a lot of different things. It can't, you know, it's not always the game. Like, I've not had, again, only time I've had it was with recording. But the overall performance issues need to be fixed. And, you know, I'll talk about the aim assist nerf real quick as well before I do get off. And those videos all over the place, but I'm rambling. I could have made notes, but I didn't. The aim assist nerf up close is good, because that was one of the big places that keyboard and mouse players were complaining about a lot, was the up close stuff, because, you know, it was bad. Like, someone would slide out of a door, and I've had it happen to myself. So getting that fixed and getting that squared away is probably the best thing that can happen. I don't think you're going to see an overall. I think Ghost Hope mentioned about them maybe reverting it if, like, I don't think they're going to do that. I don't think bad players know too much. I think they're just going to think they lost. I don't think they're like, that's the aim assist, I'm quitting. They're not going to notice it. So that's my kind of overall with the beta so far, or with the beta now being completed. Again, also saw people complain about the strike maps. Again, I've talked about this with Babylon, but like, blame truth, man. Like, what are we doing here? Complaining about strike maps. Their strike maps are mainly built for gunfight. So the 2v2, and you just cram the 6v6 on it, and there's no streaks, it's just all out war. Like, this is not a regular map. They might want to sit there and tell you it's a regular map to make the number, to inflate the number, but the map you want, Pit here and Gala, are not regular maps, okay? The stakeout map, or whatever it is, this house was fucking, oh, it was so trolly, I couldn't stand it when we played Gunfight there the other day. So, yeah, well, obviously we're going to be waiting till October 25th. We're going to go outside and have fun and wait for it to come out. Can't wait for the game, because I think it's going to be fun. But it also can be, we'll see. You know, it's a whole can of worms that we'll have to see. I move out of this apartment on the 20th. I move it on the 1st of November. So, you know, I'll have a bit of time to play the game, and then I'm glad it's only down the hallway. Like, I'm moving down the hall. I'm downsizing, so it should be fucking a nice and easy. I should be up and running. I shouldn't have too much to continue playing. So yeah, that's that, folks. Thanks for, of course, if you did click on this video to listen to an irrelevant opinion on the beta of Black Ops 6. That's always cool. I have a lot of thoughts about Call of Duty and video games in general, and I think having an avenue to discuss those openly is a fun place, even if nobody sees it. Like, I've been going through some stuff lately, and sometimes I just take the phone out and record what I'm thinking and upload it to my computer to a file, like, where I have a bunch of them. Just a journal, if you will. And so I want to do it on Call of Duty, but this time people are going to see it, they're going to hear it. Also, I do stream on Twitch, under the same name, linked in the description. I don't have Twitter or Instagram, all that shit, but I do have a Twitch. So I'm not always live, because, you know, streaming's difficult, but, you know, especially when COD comes out, I'll be live all the time. So when Black Ops comes out, go down there, follow, and don't worry about subbing, because I need to earn that. But it's going to be fun. We're going to have a blast playing Black Ops 6, camo grinding. Hopefully a bunch of people get on and we can play 6v6 search and stuff like that. So I think it's going to be super duper fun. Black Ops 6, November 25th. I'm not a paid chill, but I'm just letting you know. Get it on Game Pass, I guess, or something. Thanks for watching, everyone, and I'm out. Peace. What the fuck?